My name is Kevin Palmer, and I grew up in Montgomery. I grew up in a family that went to church every Sunday. We were there every time the doors opened. So I grew up going to church my whole life, and when I was in high school, I had an experience in church that disappointed me and hurt me a little bit, so I quit going. So when I was 14, me and a friend of mine got a guitar, and I fell in love with music. Played in bands from the time I was 14, all the way through high school, all the way through my 20s. It's just been a passion of mine for as long as I can remember. I was very focused on, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be a musician. I want to be successful. I want to play music for a living. It sounded like a dream. In my mid-20s, we actually got a record deal to an indie label out of Washington, D.C. And I thought that, man, this is it. My dreams are coming true. So we made a record, and we started to tour. We had a van and we toured, and I was just on, this is the best thing that's ever happened. But it didn't take long into the tour before I realized that I was unfulfilled. I was so empty. So at that point, I rationalized to myself that if I can just get on a major record label, if I could just get a little bit bigger, then I'll be completely happy. Because there was this void in my life. In 2001, we got signed to a major record label. Our first record came out, we sold 78,000 records the first week, and it debuted at number 11 on the Billboard. And everyone around me was just like, you've done it, this is amazing, look what you've done. And temporarily you do feel like, wow, like my dreams are coming true, this is all happening. But every time I'd reach another plateau, it would quickly kind of fade off, and I would find myself back in the same place, feeling, for lack of a better word, feeling lost. So we went to make our second record, and it's so crazy to me now looking back, because 90% of the lyrics on that second record are about me feeling lost and feeling empty and feeling like a shell of who I used to be. The success eventually kind of tapered off, but we continued to tour. And then the touring started to take its toll on my family life and personal life. And I just realized that no matter how much I tour and how much I do this, it's not going to bring me happiness. And then in the summer of 2011, I walked away. So after I stopped touring, I found myself in a really scary place, because I was as lost as I'd ever felt. I'd spent my entire life chasing this dream. It had been everything that I'd ever thought about. And here I was in my mid-30s. I had no idea what I was going to do. I felt completely lost. And it was the first time that I ever thought to myself, there's got to be a purpose to my life. One night, my wife and I were having a conversation. I was feeling empty, but there was also something missing from our life, our relationship. We were living life, but there was something missing. We both knew it, and that's the first night we talked about that we didn't have God in our life. We decided that night that we were going to go to church. And the ironic thing is at 3 different times on that week, we were invited to go to Centerpoint. We were not ready for what we got. Truthfully, that first Sunday just blew us away. It felt like that the message was outlined and written specifically for us. It felt like the music was chosen and sung to us. It was a big Sunday for us. We didn't stop talking from the time we got in the car for a week. I mean, we talked and talked and talked and talked about God, about what had been missing from my life. It was just, it was an emotional experience, and it was awesome, because for the first time, I felt alive, So my wife and I joined Centerpoint. We've been going now for almost a year and a half. Our lives have completely changed. Our relationship has completely changed. And I've learned so much about myself and about my purpose since I've been here. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still on the journey. I truly believe that we all are born with talents and strengths. We all have different talents and different strengths. And when we chase those passions, we're chasing them like I was, kind of for myself. It was about me, But when that intersects with God's purpose, and it's about Him, discovering that has been so fulfilling and life-changing. I can't really explain it. It's just been amazing. I used to be singing about being lost, and now I'm singing about being found.